We're going to be starting a new project today with these shelves. This is my desk area where we do a lot of our editing and work, and I built these shelves to hold our printers and camera gear, stuff like that. Now at the time, I just wanted to get some shelves up so I could use the space, and I kind of threw these together. I want to build something better for this space. I'll show you why. So these shelves, they're not super strong. You can see they kind of have a wiggle to them, and I don't feel comfortable putting a lot of weight on them. You can see there's not much support. There's no even shelf brackets. It's kind of just hooked to the wall. And this one I think is even sagging because of all this weight on here, and I'll be taking some of that off. Underneath here, I put some lights so that I could light up my desk area, but I never use them because when you turn them on, it is right in my eyes. I didn't really consider how bright that direct light would be coming at me in the face. You know, when you're sitting here at the desk. So my goal today is going to be to remove these and try to build a better shelving unit for this space. I still want 2 shelves. It's just, I want it to be a little bit stronger, a little bit nicer, and not have those lights shining in my eyes. Let's see what I can come up with. Alright guys, I'm ready to make some sawdust, so let's get working. I'm going to start by cutting these plywood panels to fit as a skin of my shelf. We're going to be making some hollow shelves. Alright guys, I think I'm done with all the prep work, the cutting, the figuring out, the sanding. Now we just have to assemble it. As complicated as this shelf might look, it's actually pretty simple. Here is the frame of the shelf. This is what gives it strength. You saw those thin plywoods, that's going to go on top and bottom. Now, I worked on these plywood cutouts, and these are actually going to be the sides. So I'm going to be attaching these to the sides of the shelves just like this, and they're going to lock the two shelves together, so it's going to be a shelving unit, and that's going to add a lot of strength. I'm just using a 1x4 underneath as a spacer. Okay, this is coming out really awesome. You can see the shelf really taking shape. These end cutouts, they're kind of decorative, but they also serve a dual purpose. You'll see that later. But I made a mistake when I was cutting them. And I was supposed to cut them 3/4 inches deeper, and I wasn't thinking when I did it, because I was going to put a French cleat on the back of this to hang it on the wall, and it was supposed to cover that. Well, I made a mistake, but I can fix it, so I'm going to go ahead and keep going with the French cleat system, but I'll just have to frame this out a little differently. Let me build a frame to hook to the back. I'll come back and show you guys what it looks like. Alright, quick sneak peek. I got the back frame in place. And you can see this is the cleat up here. This is just solid. Screwed it down with countersunk screws all the way around and glue. We're going to make it nice and strong. It's not as pretty as it could have been, but you won't see it anyway, and we'll sand it up. It'll look good. One more job, and that is to put the back in here so you don't see through the back of the cabinet. So now looking in from the top, from the front, I mean, you can see that I have a frame right here. And what I'm going to do is put a piece of paneling right in here and tack it down. I'm pretty excited to try out this new shelf, so I gotta clear this off. You can pull these off the wall first. organize all this stuff later, figure out what I need to put back up here. The shelf is stuck to the paint. That's literally all that's holding it up right now is paint. You know, these latex paint walls, they seem dry, but when you put something against them for a long time, it sticks. I am afraid of pulling it off and ruining the paint behind it. Definitely a little bit of paint peelage here. So we definitely have some wall damage. That's really frustrating. Pulled the paint off in a few spots. I don't have any more black paint, so we'll have to see what we can do with this. Hopefully this cabinet covers most of it. We'll see. Well, the first thing I gotta do is put this cleat on the wall. You guys can see it's just a piece of wood with an angle of 45-degree bevel on it. I'll get it measured out, hooked to the wall where I want it. Alright, I got my board attached to the wall, double screws on 3 studs. That should be enough. I wish I could have got it closer to the end, but it's pretty solid. So, let's hang it up. Okay, I'm getting this together and it's looking awesome. This shelf turned out super sturdy. I mean, these things are solid. These things are solid and it looks okay. Now, I didn't finish this shelf, and I know that's going to come up in the comments. Now, I do want to finish it, put a coat of shellac or something on it to seal the wood. I just don't have any right now. Since this is just hanging on a cleat, when I'm ready to finish it, all I have to do is clear it off, pop it off the wall. It's super easy, so I can finish it anytime. And also, the same goes for touching up that black paint. I can easily pop it off the wall and touch it up later. So I'm not worried about that right now. I just want to get reorganized again. I lost the big printer. Ashley wanted it hooked to her computer, so I brought it back there. But otherwise, I got all my camera gear, I got my Dymo printers, and plenty of room for expansion, and I think it's cool. And you can see now why I cut out these sides. Not only does it make it look not as boxy, but I can have my wires come through because I have an outlet and USB over here. And this thing is actually just a little shelf box that I built a while back so I could hide all my cords and power supplies. So they're all underneath here. I'll try to show you. So I basically, and it has slots in it so it can breathe, it won't overheat. And also I use those for the wires to come up through. So I have the USB and the plugs go down there, and it's a big rat nest. And then there's a USB hub, and it comes up to those. It just makes it look a little neater, so I'm going to keep using that. So now there's only one more thing to do, and that's take these lights off the bottom here and mount them on the new shelf. Now the way I built these shelves, you guys saw this little indent back here where the bottom only went back about 8 inches. Well, that's so that I could put these lights up in here and they wouldn't be in direct eyesight, you know, from where I'm sitting. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do it backwards so the lights were this way. That would probably be even better. You'd have to be really low to see them. I don't know, I'm really hesitant. I think I'm going to keep them the normal way. I'll put them in just like this. When you're sitting at the desk, you shouldn't see them, but they'll give the most amount of light. Now, from a normal eye level, I can't see the bulbs directly, so I think that's going to be a lot better for me. Unfortunately, I can't test it because we have no power right now. We've had a power outage today, so we're just waiting for that to come back on. Otherwise, I would test it out for you guys. And don't be fooled by these shelves. Some people think because these are hollow, they're going to be weak, but I got 3 supports in here plus this back support, and when it's all laminated together, when you got these plywoods glued and nailed in place, it's very rigid. I mean, I think hollow core doors have like a bad rap because people think they're cheap, but there's a lot of rigidity. I mean, I could put a lot of weight on those shelves and they won't bend. I could put way more weight on those than I could the solid wood ones. We'll call this job complete. This is actually a new favorite of mine. I built a shelf like this in the other bedroom above the desk and I loved it so much I mimicked it here. Except for this one I did as like a freestanding unit like this. It's super lightweight and I just love it. It's strong. And I'll tell you what else I like about this style of building is it's really material efficient. You don't have to use a lot of lumber. All you need is some 1x2s, 1x4s, whatever you want to use to rip down, and then the thin plywood. So if you're thinking about weight issues or just cost issues, it's actually a pretty efficient way to build large things. So overall, super happy, glad I did this. I'll try to find a use for those old wooden shelves out in the barn, try to make use of them so they don't get wasted. But one more upgrade for the house, and I think I'm done now. I don't think there's anything else. So, thanks for watching. We'll have another video coming soon, and until next time, take care.
Bye.
Okay, we just got our power back. It's a super windy day, so there's probably a power line down, but it's on. Wanted to show you guys. This looks so good. It's so nice to have this lit up and the light is not touching my eyes directly. So warm, I love it. So I would say this is totally successful. I like this. I didn't have to do an indent on this top shelf. I just literally mimicked 2 shelves, and in hindsight I would have just covered that whole upper shelf, the whole bottom of it I would have just covered. I could put lights up there someday if I want them at least. So yeah, that's all. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time.